Hello, this is Craig Resnick coming to you from the 2022 ARC Advisory Group Orlando Forum. With me today is my special guest, Kevin McClusky, Co-Director of Sales Engineering at Inductive Automation. How you doing today, Kevin?
Good. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hey, great to be back. It's great to have a live event again.
Yeah.
We've been talking a lot about digital transformation at this event, and I know that's certainly something that's very, very important to Inductive Automation. Tell us some of your digital transformation success stories that you've had, and if you have any case studies or examples, that would be great.
Sure. Yeah, we've had a really interesting time over the course of the pandemic with all of the different case studies that we have had that have come from interesting end users and interesting integrators who've done a lot of digital transformation. So it was really exciting to see that the forum has a theme of digital transformation, since that's near and dear to our hearts at Inductive Automation. I've worked with a lot of different customers who have gone through their journeys. One good example would be NGL Energy Partners. They're a company that does a lot in the oil and gas space, and they had an 8-month project where they were able to take not 5 or 10 or 20 sites, but over 100. I think it was around 112 different sites, and roll those out over 1.2 million tags, and over the course of 8 months, basically transformed the way that they do monitoring and the way that they do some of the transfer between these different sites. So it's been really exciting. That's one example. There's probably about 100 examples. I know we don't have time to go through all of them, but it's an exciting time to be alive and be in this business.
It most certainly is. We've certainly heard also a lot about edge.
Yeah.
And I certainly know Inductive Automation has a number of edge solutions. If you could tell me a little bit more about them, and also the fact, how are you doing edge to cloud communications?
Sure, yeah. So Ignition, our software platform, I'm with Inductive Automation. Our software platform's Ignition, and we have a product called Ignition Edge, which is Ignition running on the edge. So it has a few different pieces of functionality that are part of it. There's data collection. There is bidirectional communication, so you can write back down to the edge. It's not just a collection system. And then there's HMI functionality. There's visualization for folks who want to have a traditional HMI, but they want to replace it with an Ignition HMI, or maybe they're having trouble sourcing their HMIs that they've used in the past. An Ignition HMI is a possibility. We have some partners, onboard partners, that sell their hardware with our software pre-installed on it and pre-licensed. So basically you can get an Ignition HMI, take it, it's already licensed, pull it out of the box and install it. And then if we're talking about edge to cloud communication, a lot of that actually is going over MQTT and MQTT Sparkplug. And so we've standardized on that as one of the main communication mechanisms. It has a whole variety of advantages over traditional end-to-end or point-to-point communication. And it's an open standard, which allows for digital transformation in a bigger way than it would if you're using a proprietary software stack. You're not locked into a specific vendor software stack. You're able to use and switch out different edge products and switch out different central products and still tie into this data stream that helps enable that digital transformation.
Yeah, I mean, that's so key today, certainly with most people having sort of, a hybrid representation of having an edge and cloud.
Yeah.
And I know that, certainly you had, in spite of all the issues with the pandemic, you had a very successful 2021. I know we've watched you grow since the 2013 when your first ARC forum. What are some of the things you've done in 2022 to kind of increase your value proposition to your customers?
Yeah, so 2021, we actually released our Bacnet Driver. That Bacnet Driver is something that enabled a lot of projects in the building automation vertical, and we've been trying to focus more on additional verticals as well. We're in every vertical, frankly, with the U.S. tax code, and so we're across all the industries anyway, but what we wanted to do is support additional verticals in a more strong way from a driver side. So we have a 61850 driver coming out, which is electrical subsystems and distribution and microgrid applications and data centers. It supports that type of equipment. We have a Mitsubishi driver coming coming out that's going to support the Asia Pacific areas a lot more. We have some improvements to our Bacnet Driver for schedule objects, and without getting too technical here, I'm on the technical side, and I love the technical, but just in general, we're trying to work really hard to put the tool set in place that is going to enable all of these going into the future. You can do all of this today, but we want to make it so it's easier. And our mantra is easy, fun, and affordable. And that's what we're going for in these new vertical applications that we're targeting.
That's what certainly keeps all your customers and all the systems integrators you work very closely with very, very happy.
Yeah.
We all know, we don't have to get into much detail because we all know what's happened the last, 2.5 years. So what have you done, or what has Inductive Automation done, let's say, to, the services, products, and things you've tried to help your company become more, or your customers, I should say, become more operationally resilient and sustainable and be able to kind of withstand some of the challenges that have come up as a result of the pandemic?
Sure. Yeah. One of the big focuses that we've had this year especially, but even going back a couple of years, is that we've put a big focus on digital transformation. We've been helping folks do this pretty much since we first came around 20 years ago. But over the recent years, it's been something that, I work with a lot of customers on their implementations, and it's something that I've been supporting. It's something that different folks in our organization have been supporting. And we've have a lot of lessons learned. We've helped a lot of folks through their journeys, and we've been trying to put together webinar series and case studies and other articles that are out there to help folks understand what actually goes into a digital transformation. And it's not just technology, it's people, it's processes, it's programs, and you have to have all of those pieces really to have a successful digital transformation journey with your company. So we're trying to help with thought leadership in that space. We're trying to help with basically training folks on what all of that looks like. And then we're also focusing on the enabling technologies for that technology piece, for the programs piece. So we're focusing on Sparkplug. We're part of the Sparkplug working group, for example. And there's a new announcement that just came out today that is about the Sparkplug Compatibility program. So we've been working closely with the Eclipse Foundation on that. And we have a whole slew of partners in our partner ecosystem that we're working on helping enable the things that they're doing. And we're working on having a technology stack that really enables what they're looking for.
Yeah, well, I know certainly the ecosystem has always been a very critical part of your business model.
Sure.
And certainly developing those partnerships. If we want to have a final question, as we plan for 2022 and beyond, what do you see as the biggest global, say, tailwinds where you think it's going to be, helpful in the economy for your business? At the same time, what do you see as the headwinds? I mean, certainly we hear, supply chain and inflation, but I'd say specifically to your customers and your business in particular.
Sure. Great question. So on the tailwind side, we were lucky enough to be timed really well at the beginning of all this. With the release of Ignition 8, with the release of our Perspective product, which is the revolutionary web-based visualization tool that we have. And we've seen just so much adoption and so much interest and excitement about this inside the community that I'd say that's one of our big tailwinds. We have a really good software stack right now with MQTT Sparkplug. We also have a really good set of tailwinds, like you said, so things pushing us forward. That has a lot of momentum. We have a partner in Sepasoft as well, who's just released a batch module that does S88 batching. And this whole technology stack is helping propel us forward. In terms of headwinds, I think that probably our biggest challenge is over the pandemic, as you said, we've done really well. We're about twice the size that we were 2.5 years ago. So we've seen incredible growth, largely as a result of what our community is telling us, what they need, what they've requested, and now they've been buying software. And so we want to keep enabling that community. And through growth, there are always challenges in terms of keeping that small company feel and keeping that customer feedback as part of the cycle, while at the same time growing as an organization. So we put a lot of work into that. We're certainly a customer-driven organization. We don't have a 10-year plan that's on paper. We're taking customer feedback in on a regular basis, and we are utilizing that for our software and for our tech support and the support organization, and to help integrators and our partners. And we're really challenging ourselves to keep that small company feel as we continue to grow and support enterprise customers.
You've done a great job, and so it's been great having you come to the forum for all these years. We look forward to seeing you for many more years and hearing more of your great growth stories. So thank you very much, Kevin.
Thank you so much.
And this is Craig Resnick coming to you from the 2022 ARC Advisory Group Orlando Forum. Thank you so much. Have a great day.